Welcome to another episode here on Captain's Dry Dock, and in the dry dock today, I'm replicating the hoodie seen in the 2004 Battlestar Galactica reboot. Kind of. Let's make it real. I came very late in watching the rebooted Battlestar Galactica in 2016 when it was streaming online, and I loved it so much that I bought the Blu-ray box set and I've rewatched it several times since. Now, if you've watched my channel before, you will know that I also enjoy cosplaying as a stormtrooper, such as the original series New Hope version and the First Order armor. The latter I documented as a full build playlist on this channel, so I've included the links down below if that's your bag, as well as cosplaying my first passion, Star Trek.
With you.
But when it came to Battlestar Galactica, and as much as I love the production quality and the overall design, I really never warmed to the uniforms. It just wasn't my bag. However, it wasn't until I saw these hoodies being worn in a few scenes by the crew, this was mainly during their downtime, that's when I wanted one. Mainly because it looked like something that I could wear as an everyday piece of clothing to work or down at the pub. And what makes this project differ from the rest of my channel, that finally it's one that was going to be simple to put together, as all I needed was a grey hoodie and a BSG patch, and that would be it, done. But this project quickly developed a life of its own, as I found out that I could introduce my own designer touch. This is where I was moving away from making a Canon screen use recreation to adding my own patch design that didn't exist but wouldn't look out of place in the show. So what I had in mind was to make a version of the hoodie, but with attitude, that a Viper pilot would wear, so of course I would need to also include the Viper pilot shoulder patch seen on their flight suit. For my brand new patch design, I needed research, starting by looking at real-world influences of military fighter pilot clothes, where they're covered in patches, and yes, Top Gun. This is exactly what the production designers did on the show, not Top Gun, but more about historical pictures, and they based the look of the Galactica ship on a World War II aircraft carrier. But as I started researching patches, I stumbled upon this. A patch based on Star Trek Deep Space Nine's attacked ship, the DaFont, which wasn't used in the show, but actually used in a book. This looked awesome, and a sheer aggressive attitude fitted well with the pilots of the Galactica franchise. So the idea was to base my patch design on that, but with a Viper instead. That included details from Galactica's filming sets and graphic design. Now, I could have drawn a Viper by eye from reference, but to make things easier and speed up the process, I was going to trace a photo of one instead. But as I wanted one at a specific angle, I needed a model so I can pose it how I wanted. Although there is a fan actually making a 1:1 scale of the Viper, I had to make do with a real-world model to refer to. However, I assumed that someone out there had already made an open-source 3D digital model of a Viper that I could then manipulate to a view that I wanted, and sure enough, I found one the internet delivered via this website that I could just manipulate via a browser. Link is in the descriptions down below if you just want to have a play around yourself. This allowed me to reposition it at such an angle that it made the Viper look like it was coming out of the patch, and make it aggressive. Grrr. Once I was happy with the position, I took a screenshot, pasted it in Adobe Illustrator on a background layer that was locked and adjusted to be lighter to make it easier to trace. Then I made another layer and traced the design on that. Once drawn, I converted it to live paint, where I just clicked around all the negative space to add the colour. As for the overall badge design, I based the badge shape on the triangular angles of Galactica's hangars, as well as the chamfers on the corners, which is a subtle nod to the props used in the show, such as the dog tags, paper and books. For the text, I downloaded the Battlestar Galactica theme font from this website, DaFont, and typed out the name of the ship. As I was designing the patch and it was going to be an unofficial one, I had to remind myself I could do whatever I wanted. After all, it was my patch design. and I love the idea of putting in one of my favourite quotes from the show.
Sometimes you have to roll the hard six.
And then I thought to myself, let's represent that as a visual aid, in this case 2 dice showing the value. For the Viper and the Galactica official patches seen on the show, that was easy, I just got those from eBay. Okay, they're not the exact same size as the show as they're slightly smaller, but they looked good enough for a hoodie that wasn't going to be canon anyway. I decided that my patch design would actually look much better as a large size print on the back, just like the historical pictures from my research. So I nipped down to Primark, and if you're middle class, Primark, and got myself a cheap grey hoodie with the idea to use printable iron-on transfer paper that I got from Amazon. But then I quickly had second thoughts afterwards, because in my experience, these do-it-yourself iron-on transfers don't last long. Now they're good enough for a stag do, but they do start to peel off after several washes. Instead, I will go to an online printing company that also provides clothing options. Now, I've used this service before in the past, but this company is my go-to as the quality is brilliant and there's a choice of a lot of clothing types such as t-shirts, jumpers, and most importantly, types of hoodies that are relatively cheap in a variety of colour options. All I had to do was pick a grey hoodie, upload my design, and place an order. This was delivered within a week and the quality of the print is so good that it looks like something you would have bought from an official merchandise shop. Now all what was left was to attach the official patches. These particular patches have a dry adhesive on the back that melts when ironed on and sticks to the cloth. However, just like printable do-it-yourself iron-on paper, these peel off over time and through wear and tear. To add belt to braces, I broke out my sewing machine, which I love so much, and it made quick work mechanically securing the patches. Carefully sewing around the black rim using black thread really slowly. By chance, this project was completed just when I was going to fly out to see family in Vancouver, Canada, which for you if you don't know, is relevant as it's the location where Battlestar Galactica was filmed. So this was the ideal opportunity to wear my hoodie over there, to film myself wearing it, trying to find outdoor locations used for the show. So if you recognise them, leave a comment down below. In the meantime, here's me struggling to look cool, with no doubt many Canadians walking past me wondering what the hell am I doing. So what do you think? Unlike most of my builds on this channel where I like to go to great lengths to accurately replicate something from film, TV and also computer games, this was a lovely change to be able to flex my design skills and make something I can call my own, all the while keeping to the spirit and style that wouldn't look out of place from the show. I really hope you enjoyed this video and probably inspired you to have a play and make something from your own genre that you enjoy that you can actually wear every single day. In the meantime, my name's John Child, and sometimes
You have to roll the hard six.
wherever that means. See you later.